say 72 or maybe 71, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. And where were you?
Yeah, so I'm from New Orleans, but I was a freshman at LSU, and a bunch of us had come down to party. And we used to, it was a bunch of girls, and we used to all go to the Mustache
Uh-huh.
because it was a pretty safe place to go. And I was in a beer guzzling contest and drank too much beer and got thrown out.
And they all came to see Rick.
Right.
Rick was the waiter they wanted.
Right. And so
It's a hard
it
burden.
was
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah, so I
difficult
was
burden. Maybe a difficult burden. Better
They
put it.
used to call Rick Loverboy.
yeah. So I was on the curb and my girlfriends wouldn't come out. They were having too much fun. So Tom was working the door. So I met Tom.
Yeah, David Krippner, who you see sometimes on here, he carried her out over his shoulder and set her down in front of him.
That's a
Don't let
shame.
her find you.
That's a shame.
Sorry.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Now, look where it got me. So
Okay.
You didn't know
when
David.
Tom and I got married, we went to Kent's house for our honeymoon.
Well, Kent came because he was the best man.
You were the best man, and then
Yeah.
later we came to Colorado for our honeymoon, and our carburetor froze up because it had so much humidity in it from New Orleans that we had to end up sticking a hair dryer down it to defrost it so that we could leave when it was time to go.
Oh,
And
that's
wasn't that the first? Was that the first time you saw snow too?
Oh yeah, no, that was the first time I'd ever
Oh.
seen snow, and I was scared
Yeah.
out of my.
Wow.
I mean, I was like, "What is this stuff?" Especially when you're driving. We were driving up to your house, and it said on the side of the road there were signs that said, "Be careful of falling rock." Right, and I said to Tom,
That's
"I'm
right.
like, I'm ready to go back to New Orleans." I mean, I'm like, no, But it was nice of you to host us, Kent, because we didn't have any money to go anywhere else, right? So
What's that, Chris?
Chris.
How you doing, guys?
Howdy, Chris.
I'll let you guys go. Nice to
Cheers,
talk.
David
Hi.
K.
Good to see you, man.
Okay.
great to hear you.
Hey, Dave.
We were just
Hey,
talking
Dave.
about you, David.
Yeah.
I'm sure. What's
That was
going
fun.
on?
You going on? We're just talking about you carrying somebody over your shoulder.
But
I
who-
think
You don't-
that's
I know
still.
you
I
don't
think that.
remember that, but you did.
I think it was. I think it was actually Roger.
Roger couldn't lift up anybody.
Ooh, ooh.
That's a shame you said that.
Well, I mean, he's not that tall, so
Yeah.
you put.
Oh, that's a shame too.
You just drove her.
So,
No,
you got-
Dave, it was you. I remember
Emily, who you got
distinctly.
visiting with you today? Who do you have with you back there, Emily?
well, I thought I'd just change him, bring him to more life.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yes.
Oh yeah.
You got young Joel.
Young Joel.
Little game. Yeah.
With his banjo.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's a great picture. I don't think I saw it before.
Isn't that good?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah, it was huge. It's nice to be back. How
Good to have you back.
Yeah. Brian and I went to Maine she came up. I rented a place for the month of September.
Oh wow.
And she
Great.
came up for a week. It was great.
Yeah, I got her last little installment on email this week about Michael Jackson. Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
a
Oh,
little
well.
teaser for the book, I think. But it was interesting.
Well, she just contacted me and said she has her outline she's making this a documentary when she comes down. That's what she wants to
Oh,
talk
she has outline. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. And and she sent you, I think, just a few minutes ago, some photos from that
Oh,
and maybe an outline of the text. I don't know because I haven't had a chance to read it just a few minutes ago. But
Okay.
so we're on the way.
Okay. Did you pick the dates and everything else?
Yeah, it's those ones. I'm sorry, I didn't write them down again. It's the last week, the 7th through the 9th, I think.
7th through the 9th. Okay.
Great, because I'm coming down too.
Okay. So Tom,
Great.
you're there.
I'll be
Great.
there.
We can
Yeah.
get Rick in town, and Roger was making noises like he might want to come, but he was also complaining about the hotel rates and all that, so I'm not sure. You know,
What month is this?
December. I know you go to Rome around Christmas for 2 months, so I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would we stay? Where would I think that Brian is now in love, and she's been in love with a musician, and he plays, I don't know, practically every instrument known to man: the piano, the banjo. The guy, he's wonderful. I haven't met him yet.
You'd think she'd know better.
I know.
Yeah,
No, but he's from the Midwest, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
okay. A Midwestern musician. There you go. Okay.
Right.
It's those East Coast banjo players you got to watch out for.
Well, I know. He's going to bring him along. And so I'm going to be like, the third person, but it'll work out fine. So I just want to know if you recommend a hotel, which is maybe not right now. You don't have to do it right
I
now.
never stay downtown. It's like, it's I could ask around and see who it is. Danny, well, I can ask Danny Rubio. He plays down in the quarter a lot.
Okay.
And are you looking to stay somewhere in the quarter where you can walk around to the different places, or are you gonna
I don't know. I'll have to figure this out.
yeah.
Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Whenever Sandra and I stay down there, we always stay at the French Market Inn. It's right across the street from the French. Well, it's right across the street from the what do you call it? The Jack's Brewery.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
right. That's
It's,
right. Jackson Square.
it's a local hotel, but it's nice. They got some nice rooms and everything in it, and but it's not one of the big big thing like Modeleon or something like that. I mean, but it's
No, that's okay. It was the French what? Inn?
French Market Inn.
Market Inn. Okay.
Market Inn. It's on Decatur Street.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be right in the middle of everything if you're there, and not too far.
Decatur at Toulouse, I believe. No, Decatur at Toulouse. That's right.
Okay.
It's right across the street from the Jack's Brewery, though.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, I stayed at the Monteleone when I was working for CNN exactly a year after Katrina. And I'm at the Monteleone, and they had just gotten back to order, and I had to get up at 6 o'clock, and I called the operator and said, "Can you call me at 6 o'clock?" And she just kind of slows down and says, "I'm not going to be here at 6 o'clock." And okay, don't worry about it. I'll make my phone do it.
Of course, there were a lot of nice hotels in the quarter. I mean,
Yeah,
They do.
Yeah. Well, for our honeymoon, Bonnie and I stayed at the Royal Sonesta, but that's through the roof. The prices there, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
French Market Inn is not that. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's not a flop house, but it's
I've never been in it, but there's the Cornstalk Inn. I remember going by the fence all the time and thinking I'd like to stay there sometime.
That's the haunted one there.
This is the same kind of place, except it's on Decatur Street. The Cornstalk Inn. My dad stayed there one time. It's nice.
Yeah. Suppose it'll be haunted. I don't know. I've never been
Good.
If you like corn.
in it. Are you afraid of corn? Okay. All right.
I think Roger would be really important. I think maybe we could find some money to help him get down.
I think
I don't know
Roger
if it's
solved
money that he needs, probably time.
Yeah. He'll be on later, because now I don't. This is not really like turning out to be a reunion. No, Ira's been wanting to come to a reunion, but right now the only people that are coming aren't musicians. we can have sing-alongs, so but Danny Rubio will be here. He said he'll be playing, and we'll talk to Banu also to see if she's not performing, to see if she at least would be available to maybe go down and see Danny one night. We could all clap and sing,
Yeah, that'd be great.
And with Roger, if Roger doesn't come, maybe we can just do a Zoom with him, because a lot of people are doing that now.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we could do that. That's great.
Okie doke. Let's see.
And then Gim sent me a thing about Carl Lunsford, and he seems to be a famous banjo player, and he
was
died. But
Huh.
but Ken, at the end of it, it says he bought a houseboat in Sausalito at gate 6.5 in 1974. Kent and I stayed on. We rented a houseboat.
Remember the story of that houseboat that was owned by Jay Sebring, who was one of the guys that got killed with Sharon Tate, the Tate LaBianca murders. Remember what used to happen when we'd shower, because it was right on the bay and the tide would come in and we'd shower and the poop would come out in the shower. That's what we
Yeah.
That's Midwest
Those
boys
were the
didn't have a
days.
clue about
No, we didn't. We rented it when when the tide was up, and we moved in when the tide was down, and the houseboat's sitting in the mud, and you just look and go, where is it hooked up to the toilet? And you see the poop come out the
Nope.
side, and go, boing. You go, whoa.
Oh, Lordy.
Remember, we sublet that houseboat because we couldn't take that to some guys, and this was during 1972, so it was during the war, Vietnam War, and they were stationed at the Presidio, which is the big army base in San Francisco, and they rented it, a bunch of them did, as a weekend party place because it was in Sausalito, and they would put on wigs and stuff from their army haircuts and go over and party on the weekends.
Wow.
It was a weird time in America.
Yes,
Yeah.
So is now.
You mean even weirder than now?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
weird, in a different way,
Yeah.
And it was so weird in Sausalito was that it was cool then to live in a condemned houseboat. And we got calls after we put an ad in the newspaper. We'd get calls and people would say, "Is it condemned?" And I'd go, "No," and they'd go, "We're not interested." So we had become friends with a Marin County deputy sheriff, and I said, "What the hell is this?" And he said, We can't explain it, but it's cool only to live in a condemned houseboat. Yours is too classy. So if the poop comes up through the shower, you're too classy. What are those houseboats like?" So,
That was one of Tennessee Williams' first work. This houseboat is condemned.
yeah.
So then we left that job working for Howard Johnson's there, a hotel, and we just traveled around the country for a while. We went back to Missouri and worked because we always made money at this one resort called Tantera. Got a little more money together, and then we hit the road again, and we were going to Central America. And luckily, we had that was our truck.
That was us right on the way leaving town.
Yeah.
We sold our 2 Volkswagens and bought that Ford. And like I said, we were going to Central America for some place. And luckily, we had a car accident in New Orleans. And
we met a girl, too.
Yeah, we met Barbara.
Met a girl first and stayed. Then we had the wreck.
No, we had the wreck the first night.
Well, it's all a little fuzzy.
It was good. I mean, we ended up at your father's mustache the first night, and we ended up there the second night because there's really in New Orleans, there's not a lot of other things that are fun to do, at least in the French Quarter.
Well, it don't cost you 2 arms and a leg to, 2 drink minimum to go to a bar or something. I mean, it was expensive, and the mustache was reasonable.
Yeah.
And fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a video clip. This is I meant to put it up a couple weeks ago on the anniversary of our last trip to New Haven, October 10th, 2022. We all stayed at the New Haven Hotel, and this was the band. This is in the lobby, the first song that they gathered to play together. We had just left that hamburger restaurant. Emily came and rescued Joel because we walked all the way there. Joel had his little walker with him. I think he was exhausted, and Emily came and brought him home. We started playing before Joel got back, but this is when the band just was getting started. And I have some more stuff later when Joel was there too. Let's see. If I can get it going.
Oh, we still got it, boys.
Okay.
That was
Actually,
good.
I put together all the music that they played that day before we went to bed. So it's about an hour and 20 minutes worth. I have it on one clip. Anybody that wants it, I could just send you a link to it. And, but I could play some more of it later. Yeah. But,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, that was
Is
the
that a
first
threat?
day. Say it again.
Is that a threat?
Yeah. If you're not good, I'll make you watch it twice. Yeah.
Although it's tough listening to mustache music without a trombone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Danny did the best he could on a tuba. Yeah.
You know, last week we were talking about Sonny Helmer, and I got this picture of him, and he's every picture we have of him, he's amazing. He's doing something nice.
What a showman he was. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I played with him in my first gig with the Mustache down in Philadelphia. He used to come on the weekends and play. He came for Friday and Saturday, and then he and I would drive to Summers Point to play the Sunday, Monday there.
Yeah.
Chris, remember he showed up down in Florida for one of the things?
Yeah.
He was playing like a little pocket trumpet. Remember that?
Yeah, he lost his embouchure for the trombone. He couldn't play it anymore. He was playing piano at a lot of like retirement homes and whatnot, and still doing singing and whatever he wanted, to do.
He had that showbiz personality. He was on all the time. You know?
He was, yep. He went into the business of selling old telephones.
Right.
Antique telephones.
Wow. That's cool. Who do you know who the other people in the pic photo are?
I don't know.
Okay, so it says Sonny Helmer and band.
Mhm.
Yeah. Snake was here, he might know, or Mike Gentry played with the Denver band for a while.
Yeah, I don't know those people.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Miss Emily had sent me the book that Sonny Helmer had autographed for Joel. This is the back cover of it.
Oh.
And it had some pictures of the mustache on it, and other things with Sonny in it. And see, this was the inscription for Joel inside of it. This was actually the copy that Sonny gave to Joel, and Emily sent it to me. I read it, and it's got some interesting stuff. It doesn't have a lot about the mustache in it, but he does describe what happened, how he got hired on at the Mustache. He was playing down the street, down Bourbon Street from the Mustache, and he would carry his trombone to his job in a Kraus bag, like as a shop. You see, he didn't even have a trombone, didn't even have a trombone case, and so some people.
The department store.
Yeah, it's a department store in New Orleans on Canal Street. And some of the band members would kind of not make fun of it, poke, say a few things to him. And then one day he was walking past the Mustache when the Mustache had closed and the band was just jamming, and they asked him to come in. No, I'm sorry, he had knocked off work down the street, and the band came just having to come on in the street. And he sat in a set or two with the Mustache band, and just everybody just enjoyed him and his showmanship. And then finally he kept coming back, and they told Joel he's got to come see this guy, and then supposedly Joel hired him on the spot, and then Sonny's words, Joel offered him a contract that was higher than anybody that was being paid at the Mustache at the time. So,
well, if you can balance a pitcher of beer on your head and play your trombone with your foot, then you get the job.
Yeah. So,
and you make a lot of money doing it. That's good. That's a good skill. Rare.
Yeah. But I appreciate you sending the book to me, Emily. It was a very nice read. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys. Hey, Snake.
Hey,
There
Snake.
he is.
Hey, Snake.
Hey, Snake.
That picture.
See that other picture? Maybe he'll know. Yeah.
All right, let me go find it again.
Doing good, Snake?
Are you okay, Snake? You're doing good?
You good?
Not too bad.
Good.
Now, we had a picture of the Denver band up a little bit earlier, and nobody knew who anybody was except for Sonny.
Let's see it.
He's
It's
getting
coming. Can you see it, Snake?
Yeah. Sonny Helmer. Jerry Goodnight on the right. That's me, I think.
Oh,
Is that you with the? Oh wow! I wouldn't have reckoned.
With the glasses, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
right. Where's put the two?
Jerry Goodnight on the right.
Who's the tuba player, Snake?
I don't know his name. I remember the face, but I can't remember the name.
Snake, you
So
had
how-
hair when you were young there, boy. Look at that. You were cool.
That's an old picture.
Cool.
Yeah, look like a real tall Hiram Holiday.
You want me to
What year
send
was
it to you?
that?
Snake?
Huh?
You want me to send it to you?
Sure.
Okay.
What year was that,
It doesn't say.
approximately?
Oh God. 70s.
Jerry Goodnight, the other banjo player, he's the first banjo player I ever heard play the mustache at the New Orleans Club.
Yeah, I played with him a lot.
Yeah, he was good, very good.
Yeah. And a good guy.
So how was it working with Sonny? Was it fun?
Well, he was crazy.
He had a 1965 Mustang convertible, gold colored.
Oh.
And he was always so drunk by the end of the Saturday night that I got to drive from there to the shore, to the Jersey Shore. It was great fun
Yeah.
because I was like, 17 and a half years old.
Wow.
Hey, Chris, have you been to Italy lately?
What's that?
Have you been to Italy lately?
Not yet. Yeah, I'm headed off in December.
You stay for a couple of months.
Yeah, I'll come back in March.
Someone's got to do it. It's tough, but I know.
I know somebody's got to do
Can you speak
it.
the language?
I don't. I can speak a few words. I can go shopping, and I know the numbers, and I know how to say that over there, and thank you and please, and I'm sorry if I made you whatever. Blah. That's all.
You got that one?
Yeah.
Like, where's the bathroom is always my number one thing to find out how to. Where's the
Right. You got to know that.
Yeah.
I also found this picture that last week we saw the video.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Peter.
There's Jeff back there. There's Gim.
Yeah.
Gim has a job this week. That's probably one of the folks' home places. Okay.
Here's a real old clip from the band when they used to play at one of the festivals. Let me see if I can get it real quick here. We will all remember this song from somewhere from the Mustache. I can find it. Here we go.
Nice one.
Now, what we heard just now was an example, a secret of the mustache bands, and Chris will tell you this, that how the band broke, the whole band lays out. That's important. Most musicians don't get that. They want to keep playing. But when the whole band breaks and the people can hear themselves singing, that's the secret. That's the secret. The people hear themselves sing. Chris?
Oh yeah, it really made the moment for the audience, and that's what what the mustache was about. The mustache wasn't really about, with a few exceptions. There were some people who were really unbelievable musicians, but for the rest of us, I mean, for myself, I was just a plunker, But I really got how we engaged the audience and got them involved and made them the stars of the show.
And many times I'll play other places after the mustache, and you try to stop the band, and always the bass player, the drummer wants to keep playing. and it makes sense. It makes sense for them to do that, because in any style of music, you don't stop, But the mustache, the more the band would just lay out, like Joel did with us just now, lay out, and the people can hear themselves sing. That was the secret.
Yeah, but Chris, you say you were a plunker, but man, on YouTube, when you're playing the Bill Bailey thing with all those other musicians, you're great.
Yeah.
You learn a couple of tunes,
That's all right. I watched that. I've watched that a couple times just to see it because it's so good.
That's the time Buddy Wachter was there with us in Pittsburgh. And it was like a banjo festival that we had. The Pittsburgh Banjo Club was the sponsor of it. And Buddy Wachter came. And, I have to admit that at the time, I didn't even know who Buddy Wachter was. But, turns out he's like one of the world's best banjo players of all time. And
Tyler Jackson.
Tyler Jackson, I think he is the best.
All the mustache bands and the shows and all the different combinations of musicians we put together, and that was the fun because everybody worked with everybody, even though there's usually only 4 or 5 people at a time. Everybody knew everybody and worked with everybody, and you've played follow the leader. But the one thing that always amazed me, and while we all played pretty fairly the same stuff, same show, but each band leader had his own style, his own way of doing things. So one time, not too long ago, 10 years ago, I saw a video of Chris Fenimore leading a band in New Jersey. The whole set, not just 2 songs, the whole set. I sat there, and it was me playing my set. It was the exact same thing as me. I'd never met Chris. I didn't know who he was. We didn't know each other at all. I looked at his set. I could swear that was my set. Same song, the same tempos, the same freaking everything. I never met him before.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, I had gotten a video of you and I copied you.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, you had a full head of hair before then too, and you just.
Yeah, I did.
I did too.
Well, I also found this.
One of the.
I love this picture of Jeff.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
that's great.
It's
It's a great one.
nice mustache.
He was a hell of a guy.
One of the interesting things Barry just talked about how the band taking the break right then and stuff. And as I've gotten older and I used to book bands and stuff in Colorado and all, I've learned how much the mustache was planned and how well planned it was, but I didn't know that when I worked there. Like the bands did stuff and taking the waiters, the charging of door charge until it filled free until you filled up and you built a line and then you started charging, and how everything was part of it. It's like it was so well planned it appeared to be spontaneous. And that is something that I never appreciated while I was there, but having run a couple of big food and beverage operations after I left the Mustache, it's like, holy shit, I learned this. Even the fact that when Mike Gentry used to do the beer chugging contests, I'm sure we sold more beer when he was the band leader because he challenged the crowd. And when I ran this big hotel, this thing in the world's largest happy hour in Boulder, we used to, when the band would break and during happy hour, we would have a beer chugging contest, and I could tell sales increased. And I didn't think of that on my own. I learned that at your father's Mustache, 15 years before that. So I have a much greater appreciation in my old age than I did in my young early 20s age when I was actually there, because I didn't know any better. It was just fun, but it was amazing how well planned, but it didn't seem planned, at least to me at the time. So kudos to
Yeah, but I was
Joel.
always impressed by moving that wall, turning that thing.
Yeah,
turning
movable
that
walls.
thing
Make
half
it
the
feel
size
full all the time.
But we had
But
systems and procedures both for service and for music. That's way before computers. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
we all know the service procedures and all that, like you know, calling your orders, a certain sequence on how you called your order and stuff like that. That's all important. But the band, I mean, there was a scheme for all of it. In other words, if you were the leader of the band, you played an opener. Usually something like Somebody Stole My Gal, Tootsie, California Here Come, a fast song, clap along. Right after that, what? A sing along like Bye Bye Blackbird or Side by Side. Something that back then they all knew the words to those. Then you go into a moderate hand clap and sing like 5 for 2, Eyes Are Blue, Ain't She Sweet, and then another fast sing along, and then maybe we bring up somebody as a feature, like a Joe Terra or somebody like that, or a Banu, and all. And that was the formula. And that formula, you do it over and over. Every set, there was a set spot on what type of tune you were going to play, what type of medley, and you just insert it in. The next set, guess what? It was the same formula, just different songs. Instead of Somebody Stole My Gal, it might be Strike Up the Band, for the opener. Instead of Bye Bye Blackbird, it might be Heart of My Heart.
yeah.
That's the sing along.
Well, even between the band sets, though, we used to have it figured so nothing ever went completely silent. We would get
Right.
the movies on with the music, the crazy old silent movies. We'd sometimes get the audience involved with the movie. Remember Teddy at the Throttle? We'd have them cheering for the dog or cheering for the train because who was gonna save the girl or she was gonna get run over by the train. And we'd get the audience involved in that too. So it was nothing ever went completely silent at the club.
And we did all that way before Disney was doing it.
Yeah.
It was interesting, and it prepared us, as I think we talked about last week. Roger and I were talking at the Carnegie Hall reunion, but I'm sure others have too. Is that seemed like an unreal job, and there's not any others. I'm wearing my hat today that says Schmidt Beer, and I got this hat in 1988 when my mother-in-law was sick, and we went to St. Paul, Minnesota. They had a thing called Riverfest, which was a huge thing with all these bands, George Thorogood, Jimmy Buffett, Stevie Wonder, etc. And they need somebody to manage. They had like 6 beer tents and thousands of people. Somebody to manage the beer tent. And somebody said, "Hey, you talk to this guy," which meaning me. And I said, "Yeah, I used to work on." He said, "What have you done?" "I used to work on Bourbon Street." And he said, "Where?" I said, "Your father's Mustache." This is 1988. Mustache burned down in 75. And he went, "I went there in the 70s. If you survive that, you can run this beer tent." We had 40 taps, we had 60 people and thousands of people. So the training of Joel and of the Mustache and Mardi Gras and all, that got me a job in 1988.
Yeah, and that's something.
So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here's it.
Fred.
Here's this early 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in the Fred? See that? Who's the band? Who's in the? Is that?
We never can tell who's in the band on this picture.
Yeah, because no, that's Fred.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Notice all the guys in jackets.
Oh,
Yeah. And look at those hats. Those hats were long before Kent and I got there.
Yeah, the derbies.
Yeah.
They didn't last too long.
Yeah, the derbies never fit me very good. I like the skimmers.
The Skimmers.
But anytime the
It
band,
would have been hard to play frisbee with one of those orange hats too, right?
you can't stack them. You can't stack them on your head either. I just like to carry people up, But anytime the bandstand was in the middle of the wall like that, we were at full. The room was full all the way.
Yeah.
And then we would,
Yeah.
like I said, anytime if we had small houses, we'd have the room collapse, so it looked full. We always wanted to make it look like it was full in there. So
Be like this on Saturday night, or maybe Mardi Gras, New Year's Eve, that kind of thing. Yeah.
it was always kind of fun in the middle of the night if we decided we need to expand the wall, make the house bigger. Moving people around and pushing the wall all the way back out and redoing the tables and all. But we could do it quickly.
I remember some of the Denver clubs on Friday night. There was a line around the street
Well,
trying to get in.
wow.
And it's interesting. People go to places that are busy. They don't go to empty places. Whatever the human psychology is behind that. So the fact that we moved the walls, in New Orleans, whoever, I'm sure whoever thought of that, Joel or whoever, but people just don't go in empty places. And after the Mustache burned down, I went to work down the street, the Haberdasher, which is right next to Galatoire's. And one night they had they had movable walls at Galatoire's. And I asked the guy, and the maitre d', he had people, and it was cold out, and they would bring them hot chocolate and coffee, because these folks are going in, they're not buying pitchers of beer, they're spending, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, 500 bucks on dinner. He said, yeah, it's important. Us as humans don't go into empty places. We don't want to be the first, and we're followers. And so they would give them coffee and hot chocolate or whatever while they were in the street. But once they had a line, the line got bigger. Couldn't get too big, but the line got bigger, which just is an astounding piece of human psychology to me. But it worked at the Mustache. We let them in free until they got full. Then you charge them $5. They'd stand in line to get in.
And if you look at this picture, you when you cut the place in half, that's a lot of space, but it works so well.
There was a lot of room back there when that wall was closed. But,
Yeah.
That's obviously the full club there.
That's full house. Yeah.
Full house.
But then we'd have to swing the bandstand and put it on the other wall and everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank
And
God for
moving up
wheels.
walls was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd have the Dixie flag anymore. But
Probably not.
Yeah.
There's only two in that picture.
There's two of them. Yeah, one on the wall, one behind the band.
And this picture is before 73. And the reason why I know, because I'm looking at the sound system, we got a new sound system right at the end of 72. This got the old sound system. So this is a earlier picture.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25 cents for garters.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, could you put up that Sonny Helmer one again? I'm trying to, I think I can come up with a name.
Yeah, just a second. It's coming.
Yeah. I'm glad to know that was you in that picture.
Yeah.
Now that I see it, it does look like it, but I never saw you with glasses before.
Or hair.
Or
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying.
I should see my chest.
You just say it.
I'm just saying.
Oh, there.
Yeah, that's it. God, I know that name too. I just can't come up with it.
The tuba player?
Yeah.
Yeah. Either Roger or Mike's going to have to get on probably to solve that one.
Well,
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have Roger today because it's kind of late.
Yeah. Same thing for Ira. He's usually on by now. So
I was usually on at 5:40, 4:40.
Yeah.
okay, thanks.
Sure.
next time Roger's on, we'll show it to him.
Nick, you look like John McLaren in that picture.
What about John McLaren?
Nick looks like John McLaren in that photo.
Well, maybe without his beard. I don't know. The whole time John played at the Mustache in New Orleans, he had the beard. So I had trouble recognizing him when we went to Carnegie Hall.
First time I played with John McLaren, and he was so young, he didn't have facial hair.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Time passes.
Great to be young.
It was.
Hey, it's great to be old and alive too.
That's
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You just saying?
I'm just saying.
I like this side of the grass a lot better.
I wonder who got that sign. Jeez, I'm still wondering that.
Yeah.
You should have snagged it when you thought of it, Barry.
We got up there, tried to.
Oh,
We tried to. It's hung up there in front when nothing was there. The place was burned down. All I had was the facade. The place was burned down, but that sign stayed up there for a year or two.
Well, how couldn't you? If you just, how was it attached that you couldn't get it down?
It was bolted up there. One time we brought a ladder. Me and my buddy Dwayne, we brought a ladder and some tools, and we still couldn't get it.
Yeah. You should have tried a sawzall. Get one of the metal bits on it. You would have got it. You would have got it down. Yeah.
I was just wondering who got it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you hate to think somebody just threw it away for some reason.
That would be a great part of your man cave.
Yeah.
Or I should say your mustache cave.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I mentioned it last week or no, a couple of weeks ago. Bonnie and I, kind of morbid, but Bonnie and I did our little pre-planned funeral thing and we're picking out urns. And I asked him, how much ashes do I have to account for? I was going to see if I could fit it into a mustache mug. And he said,
there we go.
He said, it's about the same as this 5-pound sack of flour. I said, damn. I said, can you put it in 2 of them? Or just do it like it's a beer and put it in and just blow off the top what doesn't fit,
Did you order a pitcher of ashes?
I don't know. That's right. Yeah. I was thinking, there you go. I was thinking that
Maybe
maybe
Picture of ashes.
that'd be a good one. His and hers.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't have one of them. I wish I did have one of those.
That's a nice looking mug.
I don't have one either. I don't even know where the picture came from, but I think from Facebook. That's what it says. But that was where Joel's sister worked, wasn't it?
Well, there was 2 of them. There was one over the Boston Club and one over the Cape Cod Club.
The proper Bostonian.
Yeah.
What were they like? How were they different than the Mustache?
They were just like an Andes type deal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
For clarity.
Clarity and Andes.
Good name.
Yeah.
I'm sure nothing improper ever went on there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Just like Andes at the Clarity.
Yeah, well, they were laid back, a little more laid back than the Mustache. Here's just a real short piece of music from the 50th reunion when the band was jamming.
Step, watch your step. Hail, hail, the gangs are here for the Alabama Jubilee. Oh yeah. Woo! Dueling banjo. Watch your step, watch your step.
they even ended together.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So I know who are the trombone players there, Barry? Or Chris?
That was Neil and Craig.
Craig, okay.
You and Craig, Gene LeBeau was in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Peter.
just curious
Peter,
because
of course.
talking about having no trombones at our last reunion. We sure missed them.
Yeah, old Peter.
All right, well, here's the typical New Orleans picture.
Je ne plus la tête.
That's what he's singing. Like that.
Et la tête.
Peter. Les.
Hello.
Now that's one for you. Who would have thought to put two songs together? I've been working on a railroad and Alouetta. Under the same key, the same type of stuff. That Alouette. Oh, I've been working on a railroad. Same type of songs. Putting them together like we did in every club. Put those two together. It was
Yep.
Then it went into Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's I've been working on a railroad.
Yeah. Well, that's right. It kind of segued into it. Yeah.
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 But and every club did it. It was genius. Whoever came up with that, you know.
In fact, you were talking earlier about some heck, what's the name of the song you did? 5'2", Eyes of Blue. Has anybody seen My Gal? And then we used to do the dirty version of it. Gladys isn't Gladys anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Not that dirty, but a lot of
Yeah,
double.
what she used to do for free, now she charges us a fee.
Gladys isn't Gladys anymore. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
You know, those lyrics were somewhat suggestive back in the 70s and 60s.
Mhm.
And if you listen to, I don't listen to much rap music, but if you listen to the current music, those are pretty tame, damn tame lyrics compared to current music.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Roger.
Roger.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Rod,
Hey, Roger.
I found my way
Hey,
here.
Rod.
Yeah. Well, there was one picture that they're going to show you to see if you know to name the mystery tuba player.
There were too many forks in the road.
Okay, let me get it.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing today?
Doing
Good.
great.
pretty
Marvelous.
good. Yeah.
That's
How
great.
you doing?
I'm doing fine. I live in the forest now, but I'm doing fine.
Whoops.
That's from a Denver club.
Yeah. It's the
We
tuba.
got that guy on the playing lead banjo on the right. He was from France, I believe.
The tuba player.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Sonny Helmer's on the trombone.
Yeah.
And
Snake in the center.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we were stuck
Interesting.
with the tuba player.
I don't know. I was reading through our Carnegie Hall book. I just picked it up, and it's a pretty nice thing that Joe did all this writing. One thing they finally cleared up in the Times-Picayune, they said a disgruntled employee set the fire. But that's not really true. It was that person, but Joe said something about the club's closing, and said the last club was New Orleans, which Joe remembers sadly. I thought the club would be open forever, but a
Yeah.
porter with a mental institution set in and the fire.
Hmm.
So he was in and out of a mental hospital, evidently, and because we knew his father, and
Yeah, Lucian. Was it Lucian?
he worked for me for a while at the Clarity. And
Uh,
Dave asked me about him. I said, "Well, he just didn't show up for work a couple times, and I had to clean the club, and I didn't want to do that anymore."
But
So,
that article you read is incorrect. Because New Orleans was not the last club.
No. New
well,
York.
that was in this book.
Incorrect.
Also,
So,
George
Judge,
was the cleanup guy that set the fire. Do you remember that day that it happened? Remember we had fired
I did.
Lucian,
yes,
and then George got his who was the guy that used to come put the trash out every day? Was a wonderful old guy. He would put the trash cans out. He did it for a bunch of places. He would come put the trash cans in like at 5 o'clock when the trucks would come down Bourbon Street.
yeah.
And he said, "This is my nephew" or something, and he's great, and he was there for like 3 months, and he was a marvelous cleanup guy. Lucian had gotten really bad because one day I came in and I wondered why the place smelled like piss. Lucian had pissed in the mop bucket, then mopped the floor, and we ended up firing Lucian. Yeah, right. We ended up firing Lucian. We hired George was his name. And the day he burned it down, I went in with the fireman. I burned my hands because I was afraid George was dead. And George walked up after the fire. He had been on the Silver. What was the place across the street? Silver Frolic.
Silver Frolic.
Yeah. And he walked over and he said to me, "Wasn't that great? I did it."
Wow.
And I almost had a fucking meltdown. And I went and grabbed a couple of cops I knew on the streets, Tim, and I forget the guy's names. And they ran his name, and they found out that he had served 5 years in the state mental hospital for being a pyromaniac, had burned down his previous places of employment. And this is where the shit gets weird. One of the cops came up to me and he said, "Look, if he goes back in the system again, he'll do it again, etc." And he handed me a gun, which had the numbers filed off. And he said, "Take him down here and shoot him for us."
Really?
And I went, "Whoa."
Whoa.
No, this is honest to God truth. I haven't told many people this.
well, now you're telling the world.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Hey, but that was the. But I said, "No, I can't do that." And so I never heard what happened to George after that. But he was serious. He had in his hand like a mark. He had a 38, and there were no serial numbers on it. He said, "Do us a favor." He'll go back in the system. He'll go back and sort of do 5 years for being a pyromaniac. He'll get out. There is no cure. He'll get out and he'll do it again. So I don't know whatever happened to George, but that was like a mind-blowing moment in my life that, of course, if you were in the French Quarter band amount of times, you knew the cops were like, crazy. But that to me was like the craziest thing that had so far, I think, happened in my life.
Jesus.
Was where a cop hands me a gun. Well, this is, so this is me last weekend.
Yay.
At the No Kings. But we got there late. There was 4,000 or 5,000 people in Arvada. It's about a town of like 100,000 people. There were 4,000 or 5,000 people there, but we couldn't park, and I got bad knees, as you can see. So we came at the end of it. But my hat said, "I am pro-democracy. I'm pro Antifa." And my dad was Antifa because he fought a battle of the Bulge. He fought fascism. So my daughter made that sign, "No gods, no kings." So, but that was the strangest moment of my life, I do believe, was when the cop walked up and said, "Here, take this gun and go shoot this guy."
The sad thing is they put these people in jail and they don't keep them. The mental illness wasn't considered a bad thing, so they just let them out. And now it's becoming noticed that maybe we shouldn't let these people out all the time. We should work with them and keep them locked up. So that's why he kept getting out, especially in those days,
Yeah.
Well, George had served 5 years in the state mental hospital, and I forget the guy's name, who was the really wonderful human who used to put the trash out, but he told us that he was cured because the state mental hospital people had told him that George was cured. And
of course
you can't cure pyromania.
They don't want to take care of them. They throw them back out on the street. Nothing to do with what they think.
Well,
and it still goes on today.
I hate to get political on it, but I was with the government and Health and Human Services back during Reagan's days, and part of his saving the government money was to deinstitutionalize the chronically mentally ill. That was his thing, to turn them loose, and that's when a lot of the homeless things started, and that's when a lot of the problems, because my job was to try to find local resources for all these crazy people that were going to be let loose with no place to go. That was my job in New Orleans, was to look around.
And today they're cutting out all funds for people like that.
It was back in the 80s.
Like that.
Just let them all out to save money.
Wow. And so to throw in an additional piece there, my son-in-law was a 25 years as a Jefferson County deputy sheriff. And when they threw all the people out of the mental health system, they threw them into the jail system. And sheriff's deputies are not trained.
System. Also, they turned it into all the ERs in the communities, and the hospital couldn't take care of it, so it slowed the whole process down. And now they're taking money away from all these programs.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll see you next week. Got to run.
Okay, Barry.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Hey, next week, right?
We'll be here Thursday.
Good.
Yeah, I got a job, and I'm hoping I get here by then. I'll talk to you, Billy.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Billy.
Good night. Good night.